Have you ever felt like you're on the brink of academic burnout? Well, you're not alone. We're overviewing a simple strategy that involves setting two specific types of goals that are crucial to academic success. Yes, you heard me right. Two must-set goals that are going to turn your semester from burnout to breakthrough. And to those of you who stay all the way to the end, we're giving you exclusive information, tools, and resources to help you accomplish this. So again, it's been a while, but welcome to another episode of the Student Struggles podcast, powered by WebLearn, where we want students to achieve more and stress less with our holistic view to academic success. So let me tell you why this topic specifically is so important to me. So before I get into my story, you probably wonder what are these two specific goals that you need to set that are crucial for your success. Simply put, they are academic, which is get all the glitz and the glamour everybody excited about, but also personal goals around your health and well-being. No, I don't want to talk about that, and I can tell you why. Just excuse me here sipping on my tea. When I was just a younger lad, because I'm still young, I was graduating from 5th form to 6th form. Very excited. And I chose a subject called BMed. And for a little backstory, 90% of the students at 6th form are doing 4 subjects because, 6th form / CAPE or A levels is just that hard. But we were not doing 4 subjects. And you may ask why. Well, BMed stands for Building, Mechanical, Engineering, Drawing. And to those of you who think that is one subject, well, you would have been finessed too. Because building is one subject and mechanical is another subject. So I was doing 5 subjects, and instead of getting discouraged, I was like, this is a challenge. My superhero complex come out, and I was like, oh my goodness, I can just mash all of these and be like great and awesome. Yeah, sounds good. Me setting academic goals, not thinking about my personal health whatsoever. And then the exams come around, and this is the best way I can illustrate it. The same way how a car needs an oil change, you need how to rotate the tires and get it serviced. The same thing is with your personal health and well-being. Because this was my race day, so to speak, and I have 4 flat tires. I was burnout, depressed, vexed, stressed, everything underneath the sun, and it definitely affected my performance. So my message to you is to really pay attention in this video, because academic goals are important, but is nothing if you don't tend to goals that align with your personal health and overall well-being. So start to jump in here, just had a quick question. Are you currently in the habit of setting personal goals that align with your overall health and well-being? You could, respond down below in the comments if you're watching on YouTube, or DM us on Instagram if you're listening on the audio platforms. Very intrigued to see what you say and what your story is. So now that we've, you heard my little sad story, I want to get into the meat of today's episode. As we said before, we've been missing for a little bit now. It's about 3 to 4 months. And over that time, WebLearn has been creating a pretty comprehensive online course entitled the 21-Day Stress-Free Scholar. And the purpose of this course is to show students that they can attain academic success while living a balanced life that gives them time to tend to their overall health. We're going to give you an exclusive sneak peek into that course and its training, and especially the module on goal setting. And in this training, you're going to see how you could figure out what true success looks for you, and how you can set goals that align with that, and how to achieve and execute on those goals. So FYI, that's a total of 3 trainings you're going to get access to in this episode. So enjoy the training, and again, stay tuned all the way to the end, because we got even more value coming at you at the end of this episode. So do enjoy. So welcome to module 1 on goal setting. And in this video in particular, we're talking about what is true success. Success itself is kind of loosely defined or termed to be like achieving a goal that you set. If you achieve something that you set, you are successful. So if my goal today was like just to get out of bed or just take a shower, great, I achieved my goal, I was successful. But if I kind of just like keep that as like my bar of success, I wouldn't like accomplish much, because we all want to progress, we want to get better, and we want to improve. So the idea is now to figure out what true success is. So we're going through a little formula I've used to try to figure out like what I define as true success, and maybe you could use some of the principles that I use to help you figure that out for yourself as well. So first is kind of getting clear on what you want to do, and I can tell you why this is important. If you spend a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of energy blood, sweat, and tears on something that you do not like is labeled as stress. If you spend a lot of time, a lot of money, effort, blood, sweat, and tears on something that you do like, it's called passion. Very crazy, right? So by simply doing things that you do like, you feel so different, and you approach it so differently just because you have an interest in something versus something you don't. And I can use myself as an example. I love doing this. I love creating things that could help and teach others, help them show, avoid the pitfalls and the obstacles that I may have been subject to previously in life. Because by teaching you, I feel in some way it helps like a younger version of me who was going through that. And it makes me happy. It warms my heart. Like I could do this all day, every day, in a way, right? But if you told me to go and mix concrete, 5 days a week and be in the hot sun, that doesn't get me excited. That doesn't get me to do what I want to do. So even though it's cliche, it's kind of true to the extent that person say, if you do what you love, you will never work a day in your life, right? So that shows that success does not look the same for every person. Success is subjective, right? For somebody else, it could be they like architecture, or they like art, or they like mathematics, and things of that nature, right? But what happens to us, a lot of us, we don't listen to that. We don't feel confident that we could actually do something that we really want, and we let other people make those decisions for us. Parents, society, friends. Sometimes we just do it just to show off to other people, as I was talking about earlier. Some people just get money, fame, and celebrity because that's what they think other people would want. But we know because so many celebrities say that they're unhappy and have unfortunate demises and things of that nature. Sorry to get a little morbid, but those persons are not happy, right? So is that really true success? For you to figure out what you truly want, we have our first kind of like activity in the description below. It's called purpose discovery cards. So we have kind of like cards that have like, what's your strengths, or what do you actually like doing, or what you want to do in the future, stuff like that. And you kind of just you answer each of them, and it gives you a clearer understanding on what you value and what you should probably consider in what you define true success is for yourself. So you can go do that activity, take 5-10 minutes, do that, and that's going to help you in our next video in today's course around goal setting. So first, get clear what you want to do. Don't do it for others. Do it intrinsically because it's something that you want to do. Remember, this stress and passion is so similar. It's just that this one is something you don't like and one is something you do like. So try to figure out what it is for you, and don't let others try to be determining it for you. All right. See you in the next one. So now you're able to figure out what true success looks like, right? You have things that you're passionate about. And again, these are not just academic things. These are things that are personal as well. So now we need to formulate a strategy on how you can set, assess, and execute goals that align with your passions. And that's what we're considering in this next training. How do we set goals that actually are worth achieving? And then how do we actually achieve it? That's the big question we're going to answer in this video. And to those of you who have not, it's important that you go and watch the previous instructional video, because this is video number 2 on day number 2, and actually do the activity of filling out the purpose discovery cards, right? Writing all your answers to those questions, because that we're building on the foundation of that activity and that video in this one. So we're breaking it into 3 steps: goal setting, goal assessment, goal execution. Setting goals. Some persons use the SMART goal strategy: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. And it's a good overall strategy, but it has some weaknesses or things that it could be a little more clear on. Instead of a SMART goal, you could easily set a goal that is so far out of your capabilities that it discourages you rather than encourage you. So that's like me saying, I want to be a Nobel Prize winning mathematician. Very, very hard to do. There's steps that I could try to, work towards to get there, but it's so far without my reach that's going to discourage me rather than encourage me. You want to set a goal that is just outside your capabilities, that it pulls you toward it rather than push you away. The second thing when thinking about setting goals is that understanding goals are only good for setting direction. And we know that because winners and losers have the same goals. All athletes who run a race want to win. Every student wants to get good grades, but they don't. And the reason is because a lot of persons set goals and then they have only a temporary change, right? We want to see how you can get a permanent change when you make these goals. And to do that, we're going to consider number 2, assess the goals. So you set goals according to this framework. Now you're going to assess those goals. The first way to assess them is realizing if it's an internal goal or an external goal. So how to know if something is an internal goal? You would have done the purpose discovery cards activity. I'm saying it again. And figured out what you intrinsically want, what you're good at, what you like to do that other persons think is hard and difficult and feels at work. That is how you know if something is an internal goal. If you within yourself feel that you're always being compelled to do something like this. External goals are not so great to achieve or to strive after, because you're doing it for other persons, family, friends. Society tells you should do this. A good example of this is, say, for example, I wanted to become an engineer because it's what society said was a good paying job and everyone should be an engineer. I did it, became an engineer, and then in 2-3 years, there's a new job that society is pushing. Well, I'm left with egg on my face because I didn't do it for me. I did it for other people. So remember, always choose internal goals versus external goals. The next thing you have to be aware of when assessing if a goal is worthwhile to achieve is to understand you cannot do everything. So you may have 10 internal goals that all sound great, but you can't divide your energy in 10 places because you're not going to get anywhere. Dwindle down that list to 2 or 3. Then you have a certain amount of goals that you all could achieve without you dividing your energy or putting your energy in too many buckets. So for the final step in achieving our goals, we have to consider 3 things. First is to somehow eventually enjoy the process. The person who enjoys the journey is going to go a lot farther than the person who enjoys the destination. Someone who enjoys the process of studying and actually becoming a better student and doing mock exams and practice papers and finding out the best techniques to study is going to do a lot better than just the person who wants to get good grades. So even if in the beginning you do it begrudgingly, find a way to enjoy the process. Make it easy to commit to. Make it enjoyable. Do it with friends, right? And do it in a place that you like. Do it in an environment that you actually enjoy. All these are things that we're going to teach you later on in the course, but enjoying the process is very important to actually executing your goals. Second thing that I've realized for me personally that has been a big step in me actually getting the things done that I say I want to get done is having a shift in identity. Meaning, you don't just do the thing, you actually shift your mindset on how you perceive things. So instead of looking at things as obstacles, I now look at them as opportunities to improve. So I come home, I'm exhausted. I just came home from work. I got to work on this course. I got to do some research. And it could be like, one way to think of it is like, geez, like, I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. Like, I really can't make this work. Versus, yo, I can really maximize my potential. This is what doing hard things feel like. And if I want to be the sort of person I want to be, I have to embrace moments like these and overcome it. And if I'm thinking like that, I've overcome like the normal obstacles to like even starting things that I know I should but are difficult in the first place. So having an identity shift is another way of realizing that is very important when trying to achieve your goals. And lastly, kind of a simple but yet very key point is making big goals, turning big goals into small goals. As humans, we are very fickle. We do not like doing something over an extended period of time if we do not see the results. So that's why persons don't go in the gym for more than 2 to 3 weeks, and we don't stick with things long term because we don't see the results. So to overcome that, because we're so fickle and we so weak-willed, by making your big goal into small goals, you have small actionable steps you can take to see that you are progressing toward the big goal, right? That also gives you the sense of progressing because you are, and that gives you the fuel and the motivation to keep on toward the big goal. So that allows you to stick with the thing longer by having smaller little checkpoints, smaller little goals that you can tick off your list to see that you're getting better. So you set goals, you can use the SMART goals framework, but make sure that it's a goal that is just outside your capabilities so that it pulls you toward it. Remember, goals are only good at setting direction because winners and losers all have the same goals. So if you set great goals, that doesn't mean you have achieved anything yet. Assessing your goals, internal goals over external goals. Limit the list, only do about 2 to 3. In executing on your goals, find a way to enjoy the process, make it easy to commit, make it fun. Shift your identity, look at obstacles like opportunities. Lastly, turn big goals into small goals and you can be well on your way. We're going to show you how to put all of this into a student mindset or framework so you can stick with and achieve your goals over a semester, over a school year. And we're doing that in the next video. So thank you, and we can see you in the next video. So now you're 2 out of 3. Got one more training to go. This last training is kind of putting it all together. How now can you execute on these goals over a semester, over an entire school year? Well, this training is getting into how you can create a roadmap or like kind of a vision board that is going to guide you and make sure you hit all of those goals that you actually want to do. So we're building on what we learned in last video about goal setting and goal assessment and goal achievement and execution. Obviously, the first part of any roadmap is to know where you want to go, goal set direction, define your 2 to 3 goals that you want for the semester. So you define them. This is similar to what we did in the previous video. The next thing is also something that we outlined in the previous video, breaking them down. Set your milestones. What do you have to do? What are the steps you have to take to eventually get to the big goal? That's number 2. Number 3, have to evaluate for the entire semester what are going to be your commitments. You have to spend a certain amount of time in class. You have to spend a certain amount of time revising, doing assignments, group projects, preparing for midterms. Then you have to consider the other goals that you have. You want to probably exercise more, pay attention to mental health, emotional health, social relationships. Already section out in this roadmap, which is kind of like a plan/schedule. Things that you do have no control over, things that you have to do. You have to go to class, you have to revise and study, and you have to do the other things that you deem important. No, you're going to apply that across your entire semester. You're going to go week by week if need be, and pencil those things in. We're going to go more in depth on how to create effective schedules and things that you can stick to in a later instructional video. That's coming up in the next couple of days in this course. You want to then identify the challenges that you're going to face. In the previous video, we talked about having an identity shift, looking at obstacles like opportunities to improve. Well, to add on that, what's going to make that even more effective is that when the obstacles come, yes, you look at them like an opportunity, but in addition to that, you have a game plan, a response to when you have these problems and challenges. So write down all the problems and challenges that you may have. There may be an instance where you have to choose between school and work, or you may be tired from doing your extracurricular activities and you come home. What are you going to do in those moments? The last thing is to regularly review and adjust. Things happen, as we talked about just now. You may realize you may be taking on too much. You may have to drop a course, financial woes. You may have family issues. You may, things do come up. So have enough grace with yourself that yes, you have these big goals that you want to achieve and you're trying to be structured, but things do happen and you have to be understanding with reference to that. So this does not mean to give up or to set your goals completely aside, but have the plan in place, but understand that things will happen to make this roadmap effective. Know what your commitments are going to be over the entire semester or the entire school year. You do know, because schools tell you, what your schedule and your timetable is going to look like. And if you have to do work and other things, right? Pencil those things in. Anticipate what the challenges and the obstacles are going to be and have a response towards them, which is going to make it a lot easier. You're not going to be blindsided when these things happen. And review and adjust. This is what you're going to need. This is how you could create a roadmap that we actually stick to so that you can achieve the goals that you want this semester, this school year, and beyond. So see you in day 3 of the 21-day stress-free scholar. Now it is possible to set academic goals and personal goals, and it's not overly complicated. It is challenging, but you have a step-by-step guide on how you could actually do so. So I did say yes to those of you who stay to the end. You can get exclusive resources and content. So this is it for you. You can get access to the entire course, the 21-day stress-free scholar, not for $100 US, not for $50 US, but completely free. You have no excuses now, so that you could better yourself in your current situation. If interested, you can go to courses.weblearn.com. Again, that is courses.weblearn.com. Or just be lazy like me and go in the show notes and click the link. Right. But one last question. Have you ever told yourself that you're going to, revise the night before an exam because you work best under pressure? Or, this one is definitely me, you are going to just watch one more episode of your favorite TV series Ahsoka, before you continue studying and then you never get back to it and you fall asleep. Well, our next episode is entitled Time Management Beliefs That 90% of Students Get Wrong. So you can follow or subscribe to be notified when that goes live, or if it's live, just watch it now.